What if I told you that there are holy relics hidden in the Vatican that were never revealed to the public? What is it about them that the Church doesn't want you to know? For centuries, the Vatican's secret library and its underground vaults have stored mysterious objects, forbidden documents and artifacts that could shake the faith of millions. But why were these items under lock and key? Do they carry a hidden power? Or could challenge everything we know about the history of Christianity? In the gloomy corridors of the Vatican, far from prying eyes, ancient secrets rest in inaccessible vaults. Some believe that these artifacts hold prohibited knowledge, while others say they contain evidence of a past that has been carefully erased from history. The Holy Grail, a spear of destiny, manuscripts that contradict official narratives. All of this may be hidden in places where only a privileged few had access. Now imagine for a moment, what if one of those secrets came to light? If a forbidden manuscript or sacred relic were finally revealed to the world, what would this mean for the Vatican? And most importantly, for you? The few who have dared to investigate these relics speak of conspiracies, of buried stories, of people who tried to expose the truth and mysteriously disappeared. Why does the Vatican maintain such absolute secrecy? Would it be an attempt to protect the faith, or to hide something that cannot be discovered? This mystery cannot be ignored. And in this video, we'll explore the most shocking evidence, reports, and theories about the holy relics hidden in the Vatican. Are you ready for discover the truth that few dare to question? But before we continue, I want to know your opinion. Do you believe the Vatican hides secrets that could change everything we know? Comment below. Now get ready, because the revelations that come next may challenge everything you believe to be true. What if these hidden secrets were linked to something even bigger? Holy relics, prohibited manuscripts, objects that may contain divine mysteries or truths that humanity should never know. What would happen if all this was revealed? Would we be prepared for the truth? In the face of such profound mysteries, the only certainty we have is faith, and that's why I want to extend a special invitation to you. If you believe in the power of prayer, if you feel there is something greater at work behind these stories, and you want the truth to come to light, leave your prayer request in the comments. Let us together strengthen our faith and pray for justice, knowledge, and light to reach all those who seek the truth. Believe, your words have power. Comment your prayer request below. We will be together on this spiritual journey, interceding for each other. The world is full of mysteries, but faith keeps us firm in the face of the unknown. And of course, if this topic fascinates you as much as it does me, don't forget to leave your like. This helps us spread this knowledge and reach more people who, like you, want to understand what really happens behind the Vatican's secret. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any of the next videos. The revelations are just beginning, and what comes next could be the biggest discovery about the forbidden relics that the Vatican tries to hide at any cost. As religious relics have always played a crucial role in the history of the Christian faith, they are more than just objects. They are fragments of the past, sacred pieces that carry stories of miracles, sacrifices, and events that shaped the world as we know it. Some of these relics are widely venerated, displayed in cathedrals and shrines around the world, so that the faithful can see them, touch them, and feel their spiritual presence. Among them, we find the crown of thorns of Christ, pieces of cross where he was crucified, bones of saints, and even clothing that belonged to sacred figures. These objects are considered physical testimonies of faith, reinforcing the belief in what is described in the scriptures. But there is a dark side to this universe of relics, a side that few know about and that the Church prefers to keep secret. They exist other relics, those that have never been exposed to the public, that are hidden in the depths of the Vatican, away from prying eyes, locked inside safes and protected by layers of secrecy and mystery. Why were these relics, unlike the others, classified as prohibited? What is it about them that makes them so dangerous or disturbing for the Church? The answer may lie in the fact that some of these relics question official narratives, load doctrine-defying secrets, and they can even reveal truths that humanity should never know. Among the most controversial objects supposedly hidden in Vatican secret archives, some scholars point to artifacts such as the Gospel of Jesus, which would contain never-before-revealed words from Christ himself. Others claim that there is fragments of ancient manuscripts that talk about the true origin of the Christian faith. Texts that, if they came to light, could forever change what we know about the Church and its history. But it doesn't stop there. Relics like Spear of Destiny, which is said to have pierced Christ's side during his crucifixion, are surrounded by mystery and legends about hidden power that they carry. They say that whoever possesses this spear will have absolute power over the world. An artifact, too, dangerous to be in the wrong hands. There are even reports about the Holy Grail, the legendary cup used at the Last Supper, which many believe is in the possession of the Vatican, hidden somewhere within its underground vaults. Why has the Church never confirmed or denied these allegations? Stories about these hidden relics have always been surrounded by conspiracies, by reports that speak of missing archaeologists, from researchers who tried to investigate and ended up being silenced. After all, what do these relics contain that is so dangerous? Would it be forbidden knowledge, a divine power that should never be revealed, or simply secrets that the Church prefers to keep locked away to preserve its influence? If all this seems unbelievable, consider the fact that the Church always had absolute control over religious history. For centuries, texts have been removed from the Bible, entire Gospels have been banned, books burned, documents disappeared without explanation. The Vatican holds one of the largest secret collections in the world, containing more than 85 kilometers of shelves with manuscripts, letters, and historical records, many of which were never accessed by the public. What else could be hidden in there? What don't they want us to know? These questions lead us to one of the greatest religious mysteries of our time. What if the Vatican's hidden relics held answers that could change everything? What would happen if secret documents revealed that the history of the Church, it's not exactly what we were told? Does the Vatican fear that unrestricted access to these relics could destabilize faith? Or is there something even darker behind this absolute silence? And now I want to hear from you. Which of these hidden relics do you believe might be the most dangerous? Comment below and tell me if you think the Church should reveal everything that is locked inside the Vatican. Among the countless mysteries surrounding the Vatican, few are as intriguing as the sacred relics hidden in the Church's coffers. For centuries, reports and conspiracy theories point to the existence of powerful artifacts, objects that not only carry a deep religious symbolism, but that also may contain secrets capable of changing everything we know about the Christian faith. But if these objects really exist, why were they under lock and key? What do they reveal that could be so dangerous for the Church? Let's explore some of the most mysterious relics that, according to rumors and investigations, are hidden in the Vatican's secret archives. One of the most legendary and controversial objects is, without a doubt, the Holy Grail, the sacred cup used by Jesus at the Last Supper. Many legends surround this artifact, from stories that claim it was taken by the Templars to theories that suggest the Vatican found and hid the relic to prevent its power from being discovered. The Holy Grail is believed to possess miraculous properties, such as the ability to grant immortality or spiritual enlightenment to whoever possesses it. But why has the Church never revealed its existence? Does this chalice really hold a secret so dangerous that its revelation could shake the foundations of the Christian faith? Another relic shrouded in mystery is the Spear of Destiny, also known as Spear of Longinus, the weapon that would have pierced Christ's side during his crucifixion. According to ancient traditions, this spear carries a mystical power, and many believe that whoever possesses it will have absolute control over the destiny of nations. Historical figures such as Napoleon and Adolf Hitler were obsessed with this relic, believing it would give them strength and dominion over the world. However, there are indications that the real spear, it is not where they say it is, but inside the Vatican's secret archives, protected to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. But what would actually happen if this relic was found? Does it have a hidden power that the Church wants to keep away from the public? And if there are sacred texts that were never revealed? Among the most secret documents allegedly hidden by the Vatican are manuscripts and apocryphal letters, writings that could rewrite the history of Christianity. For centuries, the Church suppressed certain texts considered dangerous or heretical, excluding them from the official Bible and ensuring that few people had access to their content. The Gospel of Judas, for example, portrays Judas not as a traitor, but as an obedient disciple who followed divine instructions. Already, the Book of Enoch, one of the most controversial texts, describes details about fallen angels, supernatural beings, and hidden secrets of creation. But why did the Church choose to hide this information? Could these texts challenge the official version of faith and reveal truths that have never been told to the world? Another fascinating mystery involves relics of mysterious saints, objects that supposedly have supernatural powers, and which, for unknown reasons, were never presented to the public. Among them, there are rumors about the skull of St. Peter, one of Jesus' most important disciples, and even bones of biblical characters, whose identities have never been confirmed. They say there is incorrupt bodies of saints hidden in the Vatican catacombs, preserved in an inexplicable way, as if time had not affected them. Will the Church? Do you hide the existence of these relics because you fear the questions they may raise? But it doesn't stop there. There are reports about sacred objects that defy logic, like statues and paintings that cry blood, books that describe forbidden rituals and hidden prophecies, and even artifacts linked to possible Vatican contacts with extraterrestrial beings. It may seem absurd, but the fact is that leaked documents have already suggested that the Vatican has been investigating unexplained phenomena for centuries. Are there secret proof that we are not alone? In the universe, kept within the walls of the Holy See, with so many mysteries, the inevitable question arises: what does the Church really know, and why does it choose to hide certain information? If these relics are just legends, why is there so much secrecy surrounding them? If there is nothing to hide, why can't anyone have access to the secret files? The more we investigate, the more we realize that there is something that they don't want us to find out. If all these relics really are hidden within the Vatican vaults, the inevitable question is, why? What would be the reason for locking up objects that, theoretically, would only reinforce the Christian faith? The official explanation has always been that the Church needs to protect the doctrine and prevent controversies from causing doubts among the faithful. But is this the whole truth? Or is there something much deeper and darker hidden behind this mystery? Over the centuries, the Church has been one of the most powerful institutions in the world, influencing governments, shaping history, and dictating what should and should not be believed. Keeping certain relics and documents hidden can be a form of control, a way to ensure that only one version of the truth is accepted. If apocryphal texts, such as Gospel of Judas or the Book of Enoch, were made public, this could generate a seismic shock in Christianity, leading millions of people to question what they have believed their entire lives. If the spear of destiny truly possesses hidden power and is in the possession of the Church, it would mean that the Vatican is hiding an object that could alter the balance of power in the world. What if the Holy Grail was found and proven true? Could it have miraculous properties, as some believe? Or would his true story reveal something the Vatican would prefer remained buried? There are reports that the Grail is not just a chalice, but a symbol of an even deeper secret. Something so powerful it could challenge the very foundations of the Christian faith. This would be the real reason why the Church never confirmed its existence. Another point that needs to be analyzed is the idea that some of these relics are not just historical artifacts, but objects that carry supernatural energies or powers. Throughout history, many have believed that items such as Spear of Destiny or even certain religious statues and icons have mystical properties. There are reports that people who tried to touch or steal these relics suffered terrible consequences, such as sudden illnesses, hallucinations, or even death. Were these objects blessed or cursed? If we analyze carefully, we realize that all of the world's major religions have stories of sacred objects with supernatural powers. In Christianity, we have the Holy Grail and the Spear of Longinus. In Judaism, there are reports about the Ark of the Covenant, which supposedly contained divine power capable of annihilating entire armies. In Islam, there are mentions of Ali's sword, which would have been used by one of the greatest warriors of the Muslim faith. The question is, if these objects really carry some kind of supernatural force, who should have access to them? The Vatican may be hiding these relics because you don't want them to fall into the wrong hands. But what would happen if some of these relics were already being used secretly? Is there an order within the Church that knows and manipulates these artifacts for its own interests? There are. theories that suggest that certain secret rites are performed with these relics, and that only a select group within the Vatican is aware of this power. And most disturbing of all, what if these relics are not of human? Some believe that the Vatican keeps artifacts that do not belong to this world, objects that indicate possible contact with beings from outside Earth. Ancient manuscripts talk about angels who descended from the heavens and shared forbidden knowledge with humanity. They would just be metaphors for spiritual events or reports of something that the Church decided to hide, because it could change everything we know about the creation of the world. The truth is that there are many questions and few answers. All we know is that the Vatican has one of the largest collections of secret documents on the planet, and that it has never allowed the public full access to this material. If there is nothing to hide, why so much resistance? What do these relics actually contain? If the Church defends faith and truth, why choose to hide history rather than reveal it? Over the centuries, several researchers, historians, and even former members of the clergy have claimed to have had access to, or at least heard reports about the existence of these holy relics hidden inside the Vatican. But what makes these claims even more intriguing is that often, those who dared to speak publicly about what they saw faced persecution, censorship, and even mysterious disappearances. Could this be a simple coincidence or a clear sign that is there something much bigger being hidden from the world? One of the most talked about cases involves a former Vatican archivist who, in an anonymous interview, revealed that deep within the secret vaults there are documents proving the existence of priceless relics, including texts that could completely rewrite the history of Christianity. According to him, among the most protected files would be manuscripts detailing the early years of the ET Church, letters exchanged between biblical figures, and even records of supernatural events that were carefully hidden from the public. He further described underground chambers sealed by papal orders, where only a select group of cardinals would have access. Another shocking report came from a historian who claimed to have managed to access part of the Vatican secret archives and found references to an extremely dangerous relic known only as the artifact of the apocalypse. According to him, this object would have been discovered centuries ago, kept with extreme secrecy, as it would contain knowledge so advanced that it could threaten the balance of world religions. Although he was never able to see the relic with his own eyes, he found accounts from monks who wrote about its power and the risks of its revelation. Could this relic be an artifact of origin divine, or something that came from beyond this world? And it's not just independent scholars who talk about this. Former members of the clergy have already made disturbing revelations about what is really hidden underground in the Holy See. A former bishop who left the church revealed shortly before his death that he had access to confidential documents that confirmed the Vatican's possession of artifacts that completely defy human logic. He mentioned a book that contained detailed prophecies about future events, so precise that they seemed to have been written by someone who had already witnessed everything that was yet to happen. But perhaps the most disturbing case is that of an archaeologist who worked on excavations linked to church properties and made surprising discoveries before being removed without explanation. According to him, ancient underground temples were found under the Vatican, structures that contained symbols and inscriptions that did not belong to any known culture. What did these inscriptions say? What knowledge was buried there, and why can no one access it? Throughout history, there have been information leaks that reinforce the idea that the Vatican not only possesses secret relics, but actively fights to prevent this information from becoming public. In 2012, a major scandal shook the church when documents leaked by a pope's butler revealed the existence of top-secret files hidden in the Vatican, which dealt with matters so sensitive that their disclosure could cause a collapse in the institution. Among the rumors were mentions of preservation of documents that contested biblical narratives and the possession of artifacts whose origins could not be explained. And we cannot ignore the constant speculation about the church involvement in suppressing archaeological discoveries. Many believe that the Vatican, over the centuries, directly interfered in excavations that could bring to light inconvenient evidence for the Christian faith. There are theories that ancient manuscripts were acquired and hidden by the Holy See before they could be translated, and that artifacts that contradict the official version of history were simply mysteriously lost. If this is true, what else could be being hidden? Faced with so many reports, leaked documents and testimonies, it is impossible not to ask, what exactly is the Vatican afraid to reveal? If these relics are just legends, why are there locked documents that no one can access? If there is nothing extraordinary behind these stories, why have so many people who tried to expose this information been silenced? Now I want to know your opinion. Do you believe that these relics really exist and were hidden to protect the faith? Or do you think there is something even darker behind this secret? Comment below. Also say, if you could access the Vatican vaults for one day and discover just one secret, what would it be? Let's talk about it. Many believe that the sacred objects hidden in the Vatican vaults are not just historical relics, but rather artifacts charged with a power that transcends time and human understanding. Throughout history, countless legends have been created around these items, and some claim that their capabilities go beyond rational explanation. Could the Church have hidden these relics because they pose a risk to the world? Or do these objects have such great power that only those who possess knowledge can use them? A spear of destiny. It is one of the most enigmatic and powerful relics, according to traditions. It is believed that this spear, which pierced Christ's side during the crucifixion, has passed through the hands of great leaders throughout history, giving them incomparable power. Napoleon, Charlemagne, and even Adolf Hitler are some of the names associated with the possession of this weapon. It is said that whoever controls the spear holds the fate of the world in his hands. But there is an important detail. The legend also states that he who loses his spear loses his power and falls into disgrace. Coincidentally or not, historical figures who possessed the spear of destiny and lost it faced abrupt and tragic falls. Hitler, for example, reportedly took possession of the spear shortly before his accession, but when he lost it, his empire collapsed. Was it just a coincidence, or does this relic really hold a secret that the Church doesn't want the world to know? Another artifact surrounded by mystery is the Holy Grail, the cup that would have been used by Jesus Christ at the Last Supper. For centuries, alchemists, historians, and even secret orders have searched for this object, as many believe that it not only contains sacred properties, but can grant immortality to anyone who drinks from it. What few know is that there are theories that suggest that the Holy Grail, it was never a cup, but a hidden knowledge, a secret so powerful it could change everything we know about the Church and humanity. There are even those who say that the true Grail is in the possession of the Vatican and has never been revealed because it contains a truth that would shake the foundations of the Christian faith. And if there were prophecies linked to these relics, some esoteric traditions claim that ancient manuscripts tell of a time when all holy relics will return to light, marking a cataclysmic event in human history. The Church would already be aware of these prophecies and therefore would be guarding these objects not to protect them, but to prevent the prophecy from being fulfilled. One of the most mysterious texts is the Malachi manuscript, which details a sequence of popes and suggests that we are near the end times, when an unprecedented event will take place. Could the revelation of a relic be the trigger for this prophecy? There is yet another unsettling aspect about these sacred objects. Many researchers claim that some relics have energetic and spiritual properties that affect those who come into contact with them. There are reports of people who became extremely ill or had visions after touching certain artifacts. Some believe that these objects not only carry divine energy, but that they also were imbued with forces that humanity does not yet understand. The Vatican, as guardian of these relics, could be hiding this knowledge to prevent them from falling into the wrong hands. If all this is true, we are facing one of the biggest conspiracies in history. What would happen if the public knew that our objects with supernatural powers being kept secret within the Vatican archives? How would society react if it discovered that these relics were hidden to prevent the world from having access to them? These questions lead us to an even bigger question. What is the Church afraid people will discover? The Vatican has always been a center of mystery and power, and when it comes to sacred relics that are supposedly hidden within his secret archives, the Church maintains an absolute silence. Whenever asked about the existence of these artifacts, Vatican spokespeople respond vaguely, claiming that there is no concrete evidence or that these objects are mere legends created over the centuries. But if there really is nothing to hide, why are so many questions avoided? If these items never existed, why was there never an official effort to debunk these stories once and for all? Many scholars and conspiracy theorists believe this defensive posture is a clear sign that there is something the Church does not want the world to know. After all, why keep secrecy about relics that supposedly only reinforce the Christian faith? The truth can be much more disturbing than we imagine. One possibility is that some of these relics may contain secrets that shook Christianity and the entire structure of the Church. This could explain why historical documents were censored, banned books disappeared, and ancient manuscripts were carefully removed from circulation over the centuries. Could it be that within the depths of the Vatican there are proof that the history of the Church was not exactly as we were told? If we consider the rumors about the Spear of Destiny, the Holy Grail, and other sacred artifacts, we can see that all these objects have something in common, are relics that supposedly carry power beyond human understanding. They say that the Spear of Destiny grants control over the world to whoever possesses it. The Holy Grail, on the other hand, would be linked to secrets that could completely change humanity's view of the divinity of Christ. And there are still the apocryphal texts, lost gospels and secret records, which could present completely different versions of what the Church has made official as absolute truth. Some of these stories indicate that there is a part of the Church that not only wants to protect the faith, but rather control access to knowledge. Since the beginning of Christianity, many texts have been excluded from the Bible, and the Church always had the power to decide what should be accepted as truth and what should be considered heresy. This raises an important question. Does the Vatican fear that these relics and documents could offer a version of history that contradicts traditional teachings? We cannot ignore the fact that, throughout history, the Church has suppressed countless discoveries and information considered inconvenient. From the persecution of scientists like Galileo, whose discoveries challenged the geocentric view imposed by the Vatican, to the suppression of ancient manuscripts found over the centuries, there is a clear pattern. Whenever knowledge threatens the structure of established faith, it is neutralized, hidden, or discredited. But what if, among these guarded secrets, there was something that could completely redefine the concept of divinity, life after death, or even the origin of man? Another possibility is that the Vatican is not just hiding truths, but also protecting the world from an unknown danger. If some of these relics truly possess mystical properties or powerful energies, allowing anyone to access them could be catastrophic. There are countless stories of sacred objects that, when they fell into the wrong hands, brought destruction, madness, or even mysterious deaths. Could it be possible that certain relics possessed a power that cannot be understood or controlled? There are also those who believe that the Vatican had much more advanced knowledge than we imagine, and that this knowledge was purposely kept secret. Some theorists suggest that, within the secret archives of the Holy See, there are documents that prove the existence of connections between the Church and ancient civilizations that held lost knowledge, or even records that indicate a contact with non-human entities. If this is true, it would mean that humanity is being kept in the dark about facts that could radically change our understanding of the universe and spirituality. What is evident is that Vatican silence only fuels suspicion. If these relics were just myths, what would be the harm in opening the archives and allowing independent researchers to analyze the historical documents? If there is nothing to hide, why restrict access so much? The very existence of Vatican secret archives, with its shelves that stretch for kilometers and hold records never released to the public, it's the best evidence that there's something extremely valuable hidden there. And now I want to hear from you. Do you believe that the Vatican is really hiding relics and documents that could change Christianity? If these relics exist, do you think the Church hides them to protect the faith or to protect itself? Comment below. Also write which secret you would most like to see revealed. Let's talk about it. Throughout history, countless people have tried to investigate the hidden mysteries of the Vatican, seeking evidence that would confirm the existence of the sacred relics supposedly hidden within the secret archives. But what really draws attention is that many of these scholars, journalists, and even members of the Church itself suffered reprisals, have been discredited, or in some cases, they simply disappeared without explanation. This leads us to an unsettling question. Is there an organized conspiracy to prevent the truth from coming to light? The Vatican really orchestrates a concealment scheme, protecting secrets that could shake the foundations of Christianity. One of the best-known cases involves the researcher Father Luigi Marinelli, a former member of his own clergy who, at a certain point in his life, decided to reveal to the world the dark behind the scenes of the Vatican. He published a book exposing secrets of the Holy See and pointing to the existence of documents, manuscripts, and relics that have never been revealed to the public. Shortly after publication, the Vatican made everything in your power to discredit your work, trying to suppress any mention of the book. The priest suffered intense pressure, was defamed, and ended up dying under questionable circumstances. Would he have said something that shouldn't be revealed? Another mysterious case is that of the journalist Giovanni Di Stefano, who claimed to have gained access to secret Vatican documents containing information about hidden relics and manuscripts. He claimed to have proof that the Vatican not only possessed such artifacts, but that was involved in global operations to prevent these items from falling into the wrong hands. Shortly after he began publishing his discoveries, he was accused of crimes and arrested, in a case that many believe to have been made to silence. And what about the Malachi Martin case? This former Jesuit priest was one of the most active voices against the mysteries surrounding the Church. In interviews and books, he claimed that the Vatican hid secrets about prophecies, relics of unknown origin, and even contacts with supernatural forces. He went so far as to say that some of these relics were kept inside underground rooms where only a select group had access. Shortly afterwards, Malachi Martin died unexpectedly, under strange circumstances, following an accident at his home. Was it a coincidence, or was he silenced because he knew too much? In addition to these better-known cases, there are countless reports from archaeologists, historians, and independent researchers who mysteriously disappeared while investigating religious artifacts or searching for prohibited documents. How many discoveries were erased before they could become public? How many relics were found and immediately taken to the Vatican to be locked in the Church's vaults? We cannot ignore the fact that the Vatican has one of the largest secret collections in the world, with documents that cover centuries of history, but which have never been accessed by the public. If there is nothing to hide, why keep such files under maximum protection, with access restricted to just a few selected cardinals and researchers? What is the real reason why no one can freely investigate what is stored in the depths of the Holy See? Another theory suggests that the Church do not act alone in this supposed conspiracy. Many believe that there are secret orders within the Vatican, societies that operate behind the scenes, ensuring that certain knowledge is never revealed. These companies would be responsible for monitor and control information, making sure that nothing can be released to the public without due treatment. If this is true, it would mean that not only is the Church involved, but also other powerful entities who wish to keep these secrets closely guarded. What if this conspiracy is even bigger than we imagine? There are those who say that certain archaeological discoveries were purposely hidden, that sacred objects found in excavations were quickly confiscated, and that ancient texts that could rewrite history, they simply disappeared. If the Church really is hiding powerful relics, so it makes sense that anyone who tries to expose this truth be discredited, silenced, or, in extreme cases, eliminated. If one day it were proven that all these holy relics really exist and are hidden inside the Vatican vaults, the impact would simply be overwhelming. The entire world would enter a state of shock and disbelief, as this would mean that the Church deliberately withheld crucial information about the Christian faith for centuries. The question that would immediately arise would be, why? Why would the Church, an institution that has always preached the transparency of faith and divine truth, kept it secret, priceless sacred objects? This simple fact could shake the confidence of the faithful and question the very basis of the Christian religion. Now imagine for a moment the discovery of the Holy Grail, one of the most iconic artifacts in religious history. If the Church revealed that the cup of the Last Supper it was actually found and kept secret, countless questions would arise that would completely change the perspective of the Christian faith. Does this object really have miraculous powers? Could he grant immortality or divine healing, as the legends say? And more, why was he never introduced to the public? If it is just an ordinary chalice, then was the entire mythology surrounding him nothing more than a fictional tale? But if he really carries a hidden power, why didn't the Church share this miracle with humanity? the revelation of Spear of Destiny would have an even deeper impact. If it were proven that the weapon that pierced Christ's side is actually stored within the Vatican's vaults, it would raise alarming questions. Does this spear have the power to grant absolute control to whoever possesses it, as the legends suggest? If powerful leaders have sought it out throughout history like Napoleon and Hitler, what would happen if it were recovered and used today? The world would panic, as this discovery could attract secret nations, leaders, and organizations who would want to obtain this relic at any cost. The Vatican would have to respond to an inescapable moral dilemma: keep this secret or give the spear to the world. And if the secret manuscripts and apocryphal gospels were finally revealed, for centuries, the Church chose which texts would be part of the Bible and which would be excluded, under the justification that some writings were heretical or not in line with official doctrine. But what if, within these lost texts, there is information that would completely change the history of Christianity? And if there were reports that presented a different version of Jesus' life, his teachings, or even the purpose of his coming into the world? This would confirm theories that the Church rewrote its own history to maintain control over your faithful. The existence of such documents could also overthrow certain religious beliefs and generate a collapse in the power structure of the Church. Imagine if a gospel were found that described Jesus in a completely different way than we know it. What if we discovered that he had occult teachings, that he spoke about spiritual topics that never reached the public? It would be proof that, has part of the Christian faith been manipulated over the centuries to serve the interests of the religious elite? Now think about the impact these discoveries would have in other world religions. If the historical records kept in the Vatican proved that certain biblical events were misinterpreted, that would strengthen or weaken other beliefs. Some ancient prophecies state that, at the end of time, great truths will be revealed and hidden knowledge will come to light. What if this moment was closer than we imagine? Are we about to witness the greatest spiritual revelation in history? Another point that cannot be ignored is the social and political impact of this revelation. If the Vatican admitted that it hid such relics and documents for centuries, trust in the Church would collapse. Many believers might feel deceived, questioning everything they believed in their entire lives. This could lead to a mass exodus of believers, resulting in the biggest crisis of the Catholic Church ever recorded. On the other hand, some believe that this revelation could strengthen faith, as it would finally provide concrete proof that these relics have always existed, and that the mysteries of the Bible are not just metaphors, but real historical facts. And if this revelation did not come from the Church itself, but a leak or a
researcher who managed to prove the existence of these relics? Imagine a scenario in which a group of archaeologists or a leaked secret document brought to light irrefutable evidence that these objects are hidden inside the Vatican. How would the Pope react? How would the faithful deal with this information? Could it be possible that the Church denied until the last moment, claiming that everything is just an invention or conspiracy theory? What scares the most about this possibility is that the
impact would not be restricted just to the Church, but to the entire world. If there are relics that actually possess supernatural powers, governments, secret organizations, and powerful figures would do anything to obtain these pieces, generating a global conflict over control of this knowledge. If the Spear of Destiny truly confers absolute power, who would have it? If the Holy Grail can grant healing or even immortality, who would decide who was entitled to it? These questions make us wonder whether in the end, the Vatican would not be protecting humanity from knowledge that could bring more chaos than answers. What if, by revealing these secrets, the world entered into an unprecedented spiritual, scientific, and political war? What if that were the real reason the Church will you ever allow these relics to come to light? Now, I want to know your opinion. If one day the Vatican were forced to reveal these secrets, do you believe it would strengthen or weaken the Christian faith? If you could choose a single object or document to reveal to the world, which would you choose? Leave your comment below and share your insight into this mystery. Given everything we have explored so far, it is clear that the mysteries of the Vatican are much deeper than we imagine. The number of reports about hidden relics, forbidden documents, and secrets buried deep within the Church raises questions that simply cannot be ignored. If the Vatican had nothing to hide, why would so many secrets, so many locked files and so many stories of people silenced when trying to expose the truth? Will all this, it's just a big conspiracy theory? Or we are faced with one of the biggest cover-ups in human history? What we know is that the search for truth has never been easy. The Church has always played a central role in preserving and controlling knowledge over the centuries. This means that if there's something they don't want us to know, that information is probably powerful enough to change everything we understand about Christianity and even human existence. The idea that documents can rewrite history, that sacred objects have hidden powers, and that certain archaeological discoveries have been purposely erased. It may seem absurd to some, but if we look at the pattern of secrecy and censorship that has always existed, it all starts to make sense. If the Holy Grail is actually hidden within the Vatican archives, what would that mean for the Christian faith? If the spear of destiny truly confers absolute power on whoever possesses it, who would be worthy of using it? What if forbidden manuscripts contained words and teachings of Jesus Christ that were never revealed? Would this confirm the Christian faith or completely dismantle it? Many believe that the truth, it's far beyond what we've been told. Some say the Church hides documents that would reveal the true story of creation. Others believe that there are records that prove that Jesus wasn't exactly who we were taught he was. There are still those who say that the Vatican knows much more about spiritual forces and prophetic events than it publicly admits. If all of this is true, what would happen if the public finally had access to this information? The Church's silence only generates even more suspicion. If there's nothing to hide, why not allow independent scholars unrestricted access to secret archives? Why not open the doors and allow experts to examine the relics supposedly kept within the Holy See's vaults? If all this is nothing more than myth and speculation, then the Church would have nothing to fear by exposing these secrets to the world. But we know that this has never happened, and will probably never happen. Now I want to know, what do you think about all this? Do you believe that the Vatican really hides these relics? If you could choose one to be revealed to the world, which one would you like to see first? The Holy Grail, the Spear of Destiny, the Forbidden Gospels, or perhaps another mysterious relic we mentioned here? Comment below and share your opinion. I know you found this mystery interesting. Wait until you see what we find out about the secret Vatican documents that talk about the Antichrist. What's hidden in these manuscripts may be even more disturbing than you imagine. Click here to watch and discover the truth that few know. I know. What did you feel? The voice of God speaking to you through this video. Don't ignore this call. You didn't get here by chance. Subscribe to the channel right now and activate the bell so you don't miss any of the next mysteries we reveal here. The truth may be hidden, but together we will find each piece of this puzzle. I know that you made it to the end. I want you to leave your like to show that you are committed to uncovering the truth that many try to hide. And in the comments, write, "The truth will be revealed." So I know you are with me on this journey. Now don't stop here. The next video is already appearing on your screen, and in it, we will talk about the secret Vatican documents that talk about the Antichrist. What does the Church know about end times prophecy? Click now to watch and find out.